Gains, dude, and MMR is real, dude. Like, I
It's important.
guarantee, yeah, and I'm pretty confident now that it's a real thing and that I can't be 9K. Like, I'm not Miracle, I'm not Abed, and if I were to play at that level, I would lose every fucking game. I know I would. I would be the non-intentional feeder, and I just got to practice.
Yeah.
But yeah,
A lot of it is honestly, I think mechanic. I think when a lot of people think 9K, they think mechanics.
uh huh,
But really, obviously Abed he's possibly one of the top five mechanically skilled players in the world. Like he's insane mechanically, but that's not why he's nine. That's not why he's 10K. He's 10K because of how he picks, because of how he thinks, because of how he tries really hard,
yeah,
because of how he snowballs in games. It's all of these other psychological factors that play into it. It's not just mechanics. I would wager that a 4K player has the mechanics at least on a few heroes to be 6K.
yeah,
Basically, I'm sure for you, Ursa and Pudge are probably two heroes you could at least be 5 to 6K with.
absolutely.
It's just a matter of, can you actually pick those heroes in every game? Probably
No,
not.
you can't.
But
Yeah, that's the issue.
maybe if you find some sort of way to pick fourth or something like that, there's some formula that you can find. It's just a matter of finding that formula or just expanding your hero pool. But essentially, like mechanics isn't everything. I think a lot of people think that's what differentiates a 9K from a 4 3K, but it's basically everything else.
Yeah, it actually started out non-intentional, but now I'm gonna have to plug in Sir Action Slacks because now I have to do it every episode. So Sir Action Slacks supposedly is a 5K player that doesn't even use action keys for his items. He fucking clicks them.
What?
He fucking clicks his items. He has no key bindings.
Oh my god!
He has no key bindings, dude, and he's like 5.5K or some shit.
Kill me!
Yeah, so so I had to
Kill
plug
me!
him there. So yeah, it isn't all mechanical. Like you said, it is all those other things. That's one of the great things about Dota is just how complex it is, and um, that's one of the reasons why I think it's gonna last a long time. Just because not only is it so complex, it's constantly being changed. It's not the same game
Yeah,
today as it was yesterday.
and I think Valve is catering more towards the game as an esport rather than like a casual game that they they're focusing a lot less on like getting a bunch of casual people to play the game. Like they don't really give a fuck if people aren't casual Dota players, which is
Right.
good. I think historically games that have tried to do both have failed because it's very hard to balance casual play and competitive play. Very very hard. Basically, the only hero they do that with is Pudge, which is really fucked up. But
Yeah, man. I love Pudge, and he still works for me. So, and I don't see them nerfing Pudge anytime soon. But, knock on wood, I don't see why they would. But in the same way, they can nerf some of my heroes. Like they have not buffed Ursa in a fucking year, probably, but I can still wreck with them. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So these little nerfs don't really fuck me too much. And on my 7.06e analysis that I did when it came out a few days ago or last week or whenever it was, I even mentioned the Visage. Like they nerf Visage in some way. I forget what it was, but I just mentioned I was like, this isn't going to stop people from playing Visage. This IO nerf is not going to stop people from playing IO because there's IO players out there and there's Visage players, and that's what they're going to play. And this isn't going to stop them, and they're still going to do well.
yeah.
So
Basically, I mean, with that being said, I hope they revert the Pudge hook changes.
Oh, dude. Honestly, it would fuck me up again. Like if they made it quicker again, it would fuck me up. Not for long. I wish it was quicker, but
it's, so, it's so easy to dodge now.
it is so easy. It
It's so
is.
easy.
That's what I'm
Man.
saying. Luckily, people don't move when they're attacking my towers, so it's not a
Oh
big
yeah,
issue for me.
there's still situations. I mean, you can still time things for when people are gonna last hit and things like that. Like there's There's timings. I mean, there's those always existed. Basically, Pudge Hook could go at like 300 movement speed and you'd still hit those people. But what got nerfed was like the interesting, uh, you know, in vision hooks where you're just out mind gaming somebody.
What do you mean?
When you're running after somebody, they see you, you see them, and you
Oh
try to
yeah,
you
yeah,
try to predict where they're gonna go. And basically, you can't hit those anymore because no matter where you throw the hook, it doesn't matter if they dodge left or dodge right, they can dodge it in
yeah.
time.
Exactly,
It's just so sad.
exactly. But you know, it sucks. But do you think that you could play him in some of these professional games?
Oh fuck yeah, dude! I
Yeah.
totally, dude. I played that hero in like 7K games. I recently went like 20-4 on Pudge in like a 7.5K rated game, and I was like I was so sure somebody was gonna feed down mid on the enemy team. It was just so
Really? You
it
just
was
wrecked that
brutal.
hard?
It was brutal, dude. It's just one of those heroes that
You probably had
keep.
30 stacks.
Yeah, yeah. It was one of those games where I had so many stacks by the time I got the flesh heap up that I
Ah,
basically could do anything I want and they couldn't kill me from full HP. It's
dude.
weird. Sometimes you get so farmed on a hero, Pudge in particular, not farmed but huge on a hero,
It
that
doesn't
the
matter
enemy
what they
team
do.
would have to invest literally all of their spells twice to kill you with your EHP. That basically they can't win the game if you just exist in a fight
Oh,
because
dude.
and that was one of those games. So I could literally just run through their jungle solo, and they would all have to leave because I would
Ah,
just if they all
that
went on
level
me.
25 talent with 30 heaps, dude, and you have like a Shivas or some shit, how are they going to kill you? You know,
Yeah, it's
what the
pretty
fuck are they
stupid.
going to do?
It's pretty stupid. I mean, yeah, you're pretty much unkillable. It's like the highest EHP hero in the game at level 25 now.
Yeah,
I
it's
really like that they
insane.
added the dismember duration as a talent.
Oh,
Speaking of talent,
yeah, so I mentioned that any guide that you use is always going to tell you to get the gold. But the way I see it, I'm fucking level 20, dude. I'm not expecting this game to go more
no,
than.
you for sure don't need the gold.
Dude,
Here's the Pudge's
never do I ever get the gold.
Pudge's inventory at level 20 should be like Force Staff, Blink Dagger, Aether Lens, and then building into an Aghanim Scepter. And then really, what else are you gonna get on Pudge? Like, what else
Exactly.
do you need? And you're gonna be building into the Aghanim Scepter at that point. And really, the Aghanims is like a great luxury. Any item on Pudge after Blink Force, Aether Lens is a great luxury that doesn't really improve the quality of the game a significant amount.
Yeah.
So basically, 1 second on dismember duration. I mean, it's a
Oh,
BKB
it's
piercing
incredible, dude.
disable. It adds like 200 damage to it. But the big thing is that if you bite like an anti mage or something like that, he's dead from full HP basically no matter what heroes you have on your team, just because the duration on the disable is so fucking long.
Dude,
And then
there are
with the book of follow,
stuns that are 1 second. You know what I mean? To add
yeah,
one
yeah.
second already to it, and like you said, it goes through BKB, and oh god, dude, it's so good. Like it blows my mind that all these guys out there say to get the gold. That's
No,
fucking
no,
ridiculous.
that's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, unless you have like a massive amount of disable on your team, but presumably if Pudge is a 4 roll, I would assume that you probably have a stunner in the off lane and then like a Rubik. Like, are you really gonna have a fuckload of disable if Pudge is your 4 roll? Probably not.
Right,
Pudge himself doesn't have much disable outside of the dismember.
right.
So even if you like a Crystal Maiden, they have BKBs. Like, it's just in almost all of the games now. I would go for it. I could absolutely see if you already have, if you have like Lion, your offlaner's like an Axe, so you should have constant disables. If your mid is Alina and your safe lane is like a Sven, so you already have just stuns on everybody else. It's like, okay, sure, go for the GPM,
Yeah,
get that Aghanims maybe. But in most games, you're going to actually utilize that extra second. It's going to result in a kill on somebody who otherwise would be unkillable, like a Sven or an anti mage or like a
exactly.
TA or something like that. One of these just crazy powerful heroes that if you get 1 extra second of disable on them,
It's
it
just
destroys.
huge.
And one thing to consider is that since it's a BKB piercing disable, so that's 4 seconds of disable. BKB lasts, it's 5 seconds, right,
Yeah,
at the minimum.
yeah,
So if you disable them after they pop BKB, basically once their BKB is over, your dismember is over.
yeah.
They're basically
So you
disabling
just fucked
the
their
entire
BKB. It's
duration
over. Yeah,
of BKB. That is. I mean, that's just insane. That's just insanely good.
I love it, man. What tournament? What tournaments are y'all about to play in?
We were going to play in PD Cup and KOD League, but
Okay.
my colleague Nusham Dota decided he didn't want to play in those because he wants to relax and play World of Warcraft.
Really? Oh, so you're not, is what you're saying.
So basically, I'm on hiatus. Although I would love to play in things.
Yeah.
I'm going to for like future tournaments because I was organizing these ones and then I had to drop out, so I couldn't play with another team. But basically, I'm just going to try and play with other people until it comes to the time where people are actually making teams. You know what I mean? Kind of
Right.
play competitive, like a little casually.
Right, dude. Keep on grinding. Get that MMR up. You know, fucking do it, bro. But yeah, I was asking because I was just like, I'll watch, and you better play Pudge. I want to see some fucking Pudge and some
I'll
more
play
pro
Pudge,
games.
dude. I can get Pudge
I want to
in
see
these-
it,
on these teams. There's a couple people that are talking about playing in things.
dude,
So,
man. And let
I
me
should-
know because I want to see
should
some
play.
Pudge. I want
Sure,
to see
yeah.
some Pudge. So,
Oh, it's definitely good.
how did you become, I say, an offlaner? Is it just what you enjoy playing the most? Like, how did that happen?
Nope, I was a mid laner, and we got a mid laner on Team Leviathan who couldn't. We put him on off lane, and he fed a lot. Shibi Dota, he no longer plays, but the guy's awesome. He's probably the nicest guy I've ever met, and that's
Really?
a big fucking heart, man. Guy's got a big heart. He's the type of dude who he would like. I don't know. I'm trying to think of an analogy. If there's like a very dangerous animal that's drowning, like a fucking alligator, he would jump in and try to save it. You know, big heart. But anyway,
An alligator drowning?
Yeah. But just like he'd be feeding the alligator, he would feed off lane a lot. So I was like, okay, you go mid and I'll go off lane. And he played on the team for like a year, so I just became an off laner. And here I am. I'm still an off laner. And anytime I play another role, I don't like it as much. So
Really?
I'm
I
stuck as an off laner.
I saw that you just uploaded a bristleback guide on Pugna.
I did indeed.
Yeah. What do you think about him after his recent, I guess, little nerf? Like, do you think he's still pretty viable? Obviously, anything is going to be situational, but
Yeah, definitely viable. I mean, basically he wasn't a right clicker in the first place. Right clicking is kind of like his secondary intent. Really, he wants to get those quill sprays on people, and that's how he farms. You can probably do the math, and Bristleback. I would say that the majority of hero damage done by Bristleback, which is always a tremendous amount. He's like a Zeus. Like he just in whatever game he'll do like 70k hero damage, something ridiculous, and it's almost all due to his bristle spam.
Mhm.
So nerfing his right click damage really isn't that big of a deal. And as a carry or an offlaner, you should be going Quelling Blade in lane anyway because his base damage wasn't that good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So with the Quelling Blade, basically his right click, it changed almost nothing about the hero because you weren't
Gotcha.
right clicking to harass heroes anyway. You were using quills on them to harass. And when it comes to last hitting, you never struggled with last hitting before because you had a Quelling Blade. And you still have a Quelling Blade, so
Gotcha.
it basically changed nothing about the hero.
Well, the 06D, I think, nerfed his strength gain. But,
Yeah,
I mean, if someone picks up a Vanguard anyways, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that one's a little bit bigger of a deal, but
Yeah.
still, you know, you build into items. Really, Bristleback, where Bristle is very successful is when he has a lot of regen and a lot of block and a lot of these like damage reduction things rather than kind of raw HP. Obviously, those things scale with raw HP, so it is a bit of a nerf, but preferably what Bristle wants to do, because you do those quill sprays every 210 damage, and that's total damage, that's not including damage block or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
Because you do those quills every 210 damage, technically, ideally, you would basically have no HP, but just a fuckload of regen.
Yeah.
Because that way you could constantly be spamming out those quills as you take damage. The only thing is you need to have enough HP to not get bursted, and I think he still does. So I still think it's a good hero. I think it's more balanced. I think it's been imbalanced for a long time, and I think
I agree there.
Change just makes it more balanced.
I agree there. So in regards to off lane, I feel like the 6 7.06e fucked a lot of offlane. You're